Hey guys, welcome to Shark Attack Sunday. Here with Jonathan Moody
Woo!
and John Ward.
Woo!
Woo! Here to talk about Atomic Shark.
Man's deadliest weapon just grew teeth. It's a weapon of mass destruction that's starving.
I'm telling you, I saw something out there. It was glowing. It was red.
There's rumors of a Soviet sub sinking about 30 miles out from San Diego.
If the shark is radioactive, impossible to kill. So any firepower touches that thing.
Coast is toast.
Sharks! A whole lot of them!
This time, it's nuclear.
He's coming back! How can a shark move that fast?
Atomic Shark.
I guess also called like saltwater atomic shark, I think is what my DVD says.
Oh, okay. The was it Tubi just said Atomic Shark, I believe.
Yeah,
Have you?
there seems to
Well,
be
okay. So here's my question is, so I know this is Atomic Shark, and then I also knew it as Saltwater Atomic Shark. But
yeah.
I thought this was a totally different movie. Is I thought, and I have seen this before, but there is a film out there, and Maddie would probably know this one. Is the shark has like an extension off of its nose, and it shoots lava or slime or something out of its nose.
That's
And I
Tom.
thought, oh, Toxic Shark.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
actually very similar.
I like Toxic Shark better. Okay, Toxic Shark. That's what I thought this was.
But
Yeah,
so there is another, and we were talking about this beforehand. There is another movie called Atomic Shark. And here's the thing. I'll show you guys. This is the other movie. If you guys can, oh my goodness, I hate doing this.
no, I definitely can't see that.
I'm
Yeah,
trying.
It
you
gets
got to
in with
put
the
it right
green
in front of
screen or
your
whatever
face.
you
You
want to
know
call
what? Screw it. I'm gonna have to take this off, and you're gonna have to see my nasty ass room for a second.
it.
Um, bear with me. Let's see. Um, let's do this real quick. Shoot. Ah, and then, all right.
Oh, that nasty ass
I
room.
know, seriously.
Oh my God,
Oh,
it's
and it's still
disgusting.
not showing this real well. I don't think. But
Okay.
look at that.
Yeah, see,
Oh,
that
there's an
looks.
Instagram thing. Yeah. Uh, that does not look like the same movie we watched.
Oh no, not at all.
Is that like
And
a
it,
cartoon?
no, it's a real movie. And so let me go back to my filters. Where are you? Here we go. All right. So, so this movie was, I believe, done by Platinum Kiss, who did other movies, and Lisa, I want to say her name is Plancio or Plancia, something like that. I'm friends with her on Facebook, so sorry, Lisa, I butchered your name, but she made this movie. William Connors and Mark Justice are in it as well, you know? And it is such a, and it was, I think it was filmed in Las Vegas, if I'm correct. So you might know some of the people, John, or something, some of the things. But it was a completely different movie than this, but this was originally called Saltwater Atomic Shark or Saltwater. At one
Yeah.
point it's just called Saltwater, I think, which I'm like, that's the
Well, there's
shittiest.
a crocodile movie called Saltwater.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm guessing that's why they probably changed it, just not to get confused with the saltwater crocodile movie. I don't know.
Well,
But
what film was shot out here in Vegas? Are you talking about the lead girl in this?
No, I'm talking about that movie, that thing I showed you with the crazy thing
Uh,
on there. That was a whole nother movie called Atomic Shark. And it was, I believe, filmed in Las Vegas, if I'm correct.
What year did that come
oh,
out?
no
That
idea.
year came that I don't know. That's the
Oh,
thing.
that's so
Because
weird. Like no
um
information.
I think it came out in 2016. Uh let me see, because if you look up Atomic Shark, right, on IMDb, that's what pops up, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but for some reason or another, it has like still says David Faustino as Fletcher on the thing. So like some of Saltwater Atomic Shark got, stuck in there because they're both called salt. It happened with me with the movie. I was doing a movie called Scavenger, and I had it, up online on IMDb, and there was another movie Scott, or not Scott, Stephen C. Miller was doing called Scavenger, and those got like merged together, and because we were both putting out the title at the same time on IMDb, and it just was like, I guess this is the same movie. And I think that's kind of what happened, except this one got a separate page and some of its information did not get transferred. But anyway, the movie we did watch was that saltwater one that's on Tubi, not this crazy ass one. I do want to find and see if we can watch it eventually for another Shark Attack Sunday episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That other one looks wild.
Yeah, the other one was what it has like a rocket pack on it, on his back or whatever. Like, that sounds awesome. But it doesn't sound like an atomic shark. Like this movie definitely went there with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so tell us a little bit, Maddie, about Atomic Shark.
Yeah. Atomic Shark basically follows this lifeguards on a beach, and there's like a restaurant nearby where they're have seafood and stuff, but the water has got toxic waste or whatever in it, and it causes an atomic shark, which is pretty much a beast. It does lots of crazy stuff, and causes like the seafood to burn people's bodies when they eat it and stuff like that. It's a really wild movie. I know.
What what was the bar called? It was something from the dockside or something.
Yeah, yeah, because that's like a pretty kind of funny thing.
Right. It was supposed to be a play on Tales from the Dark Side, but I was like, I don't
Oh
think it
yeah,
was
like
called Tail.
I
Was it Tales, like Tails, or
can't remember. Watched
something?
it, but
It was crazy. I like the bar stuff. But we'll get into that, I guess. So there's this, I guess, I guess bomb experimentation thing that happened like 20 years ago or something. you know, and they talk about it, and I thought it was hilarious because it's like, how do you like randomly know all of this information? I mean, it was all supposed to be exposition, but it was just like, you
Well,
know,
exactly.
it's at the beginning of the film. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be during the Cold War, and the Russian sub, which was an atomic sub, crashed, like
right.
it sank, and that's what made the. It's basically Godzilla, and
Eh,
it made things radioactive, and it turned this shark into an
Atomic.
atomic shark.
Dude, has anybody ever made a shark shoot out like fire out of its mouth?
Well, yeah, that toxic shark one,
Toxic shark doesn't?
it like launches from it. It's got like a cone that
Yeah,
comes
and it
out of
like
its head, and it's I'm not sure what color it is. Maybe green or it could be
I think
red.
it's
And when
green.
it hits you, yeah,
Okay.
it like messes you up. That's what I thought this was, and I was excited to watch it, and I'm like, that's not the shark I remember. And then, oh crap, I remember this movie,
Oh,
man.
did you not like this movie? I enjoyed it. It was my first time watching it.
I Well, the lead girl is gorgeous,
Yeah.
so it was nice to watch her. But I thought the I liked the shark. but I didn't think the movie was meh. I thought it was just blah, and they could have
It
done
was.
so much more with it. Like as an example, the picture you have up is the shark lands on the Asian lifeguard, which I thought was hilarious. And but there's nothing, you don't see anything. Like
Mm,
the he kills her, the blood and all that stuff goes on the kid, who I thought was hilarious,
The kid
and
was.
then he blows up, like his head blows up,
which they
and
don't. You
then the
don't see
shark kind of
that very
waddles back.
much. You don't
No, they
see.
kill a kid,
Yeah.
which is awesome, and then the shark kind of waddles back into the ocean, but there's no remains. There's like no. It should have had like a blood streak or a toxic streak or something as it's leaving. Like this whole film is CGI. It's all visual effects. So why not make it as bloody as you possibly can? Or if you want to stay away from that, make stuff green or like a
Hmm.
different color red. But I did
Yeah.
like the shark. I liked that the shark had the red fin. I
Yeah,
liked
that
that when
was
it went in
cool.
the water, it had smoke. This had smoke coming from it. I thought was cool. I liked that when it got on land, it turned everything on fire. I like that. So I
I,
really liked the shark, but the story itself was just kind of blah.
I
But I do
see.
give them credit for adding a sense of humor to it.
I,
Like the kid is funny. How he
yeah.
keeps wanting to make out with the
Hey,
Asian,
that was stolen from
you know.
Sandlot. I'm sorry, but that like I was
Oh,
like
that's in
he's
a
doing
lot
the
of movies.
Sandlot thing,
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
know.
say. I think that's been done a lot, not just in.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
all I remember is from Sandlot. That was the most like, I guess well known
yeah.
from it.
There's always the kid who wants to get who at the
Wants to
swimming
get
pool
CPR
pretends to
from the
drown
hot lifeguard.
from the hot girl.
Hey, I've had a
Yeah,
few
and it's great
lifeguards
how
I
she
wanted mouth
poses.
to mouth from, but never
Well, and she sure
went
didn't
this.
care. I mean, she when he's buried in the ground, she's like all on top of him,
And when
posing.
he's going like this, like that to
He's
her,
like biting at her.
yeah, and she's like she's looking down at him and smiling, and I'm like, are you
Yeah,
seeing the kid like just looking like he wants to like nibble at you? Like,
and Jeff Fahey, who's in it,
yep.
sadly, he plays along. I mean, he rescues the kid from his fake drowning, and the
Yeah,
kid's
he
like, "Come
plays
on, just
along
like
with
go
it.
along with it."
He's
Yeah,
like, I think at this rate, because he did seem like that sort of boat guy that just doesn't care, you know, or
yeah.
whatever. And so like he just like he's like unhappy with his life right now. That's why like when his daughter comes, and deals with that stuff, like he's just like I don't care, whatever, kind of thing. I don't want to be involved in this drama, that kind of thing. Which I mean, I like Jeff Fahey. I thought did it. I mean, I like him normally as an actor, but I really, really kind of enjoyed him in this. He brought something
Oh, he's fine.
to it. He always does. So, I mean, I bet to him it was like Michael Caine with like a paycheck, or whatever.
Yeah, for like
No.
Jaws the Revenge. So
Yep.
I mean, you see it on a boat most of the time, anyway.
Yep. Yeah, most of the time he's just on a boat. So I bet that was one of the things he was happy about. I was like, I just get to be on a boat, or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm on a boat,
Well,
motherfucker.
and even though I found the story to be kind of blah, I like that they try to add in some sort of sense of humor to it. Because
Mhm.
one of the things that I thought was really funny was, and I could say this, is the fat hairy guy that's out in the water that's looking at the Asian, lifeguard, and he's like me, and he sees the lifeguard doing all the kisses at him and all that. Me, and you get the little like icons are coming up and all that type of stuff, and then you or emojis coming up, and then they stay with that for about 30 seconds or so, and then it cuts back to real life, and like the Asian lifeguard's like freaking out, like with her arms, she looks like Kermit the Frog, and she's like, "Get out of the water, get out of the water!" But he sees it as, "Oh, come here, come here,"
Yeah, that's
So
great.
yeah, so I thought they gave it a good sense of humor. It's some of the other stuff. I didn't care about the father daughter stuff. I didn't care about the environmental stuff. I didn't care
Um,
about,
I actually, I didn't mind all of that stuff because we get a lot of comedy, we get a lot of other stuff in it that other stuff sort of just fit. in with it, like kind of worked well with it, I thought. For the longest time, I'm like, where's David Faustino? I'm like, that main guy's not David Faustino. Where's David Faustino? And then he shows up and,
How
he's,
sad. How
yeah, I'm not
sad.
really. I think
Everybody from Married with Children did so well except for him, and I think it's because he got into rap music. I think that's where people just lost respect for him, and they
I don't
just
think
said,
anybody's
"Nah."
lost respect. I think he's just sort of like the problem with people, like guys especially, right? Uh, they just sort of, like unless you are like really good looking, like say Chris Pratt or Ben Affleck, whatever, and all the girls want you, you're pretty much gonna just be like in these kind of movies after a while because just people are just like nobody wants to see Bud Bundy with a beer gut, like just they don't, sadly, I like Bud Bundy. I want to see David Faustino and more stuff, but you know. What can you do? I'd love
I
to put
mean,
him in
he's
something someday.
fine, but it's always sad to see that like everybody else in the cast has done well, and then there's him doing, you know, Atomic Shark.
Atomic Shark. Well, look at Tara Reid. Like
Yeah.
she was on the top of her game for a while, and then she just suddenly kind of fell off for a second. And now, I don't, sadly, she's still not where she probably would like
No,
to be, but she's still, at least these movies have given her something, fun to do and she can talk about with people. I'm sure Maddie
I mean,
loves having
with
her in these
Yeah.
movies.
I mean, it's nice seeing her in these B movies, but I mean, she kind of messed herself up. I mean, she got into drugs. She had a, bad plastic surgery. She got the bad boob job. They got, so she kind of messed herself up, so that nobody would really hire her, you know. But then, of course, if this was a whole different video, we could go through all the American Pie cast and let's see where they are today.
Hmm. Maddie, why did you pick this film? Of all things.
I think this movie's a lot of fun and like nobody really talks about it a lot, and I think more people should see it. I just think it has a great sense of humor. I remember the first time I saw it, I think I saw it on Sci-Fi Channel, and I had a hard time kind of finding it again, maybe because like the whole saltwater atomic shark thing, and I think I found it on Amazon, and I was excited to watch it again. But this movie's a blast. I just think it's really funny and again, like it kind of gets tied up with, like John said, like Toxic Shark, I think. But I think this is kind of an underappreciated gem. It just and I think the whole thing with, the what the heck are those flying things called? Why can't I drone? Like, with the drone and, the guy who's filming people with his drone and the whole thing where it can't really film the atomic shark because it's atomic, whatever. I don't know. It has a lot of cool plot points. I just think it's kind of stands out from a lot of the similar sci-fi channel stuff. I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah. It's funny because it was hard for me to find it on Tubi. I looked up Atomic.
Really?
Yeah, it took
I
it
just
took me
typed in
actually.
atomic and it came right up.
Really, it did not for
Yeah.
me. I don't know. It like Atomic Twister came up before Atomic Shark and
Something
stuff.
I should.
So
Oh,
what?
that sounds like something I should watch as well.
Yeah, and actually, see, I'm just like you, Maddie. I love the Sci-Fi Channel. Well, I used to really love it. Now it's become the wrestling channel, so
Yeah,
I don't really watch it as much. But I used to really love Sci-Fi Channel, and I would go every Saturday or so. They would have like a whole, they would have a whole like marathon of these
exactly.
crazy movies and stuff. And if I had a day off on a Saturday or Sunday, I would just watch these on satellite for hours, just, having a fun time. And so I I think by the time that this came out on because when was this made? Like 2013, 14?
I honestly don't know. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I can find out in 2 seconds. 16 at the same time as the other one. See? That's it. That's exactly what happened. I told you. Mine came out the exact same time as the other one, and they just meshed things together. This one, somebody came up with the idea of atomic shark, so that's why they probably changed it to saltwater atomic shark because somebody
Yeah,
else made an atomic shark. Whoever, I don't know, I guess whoever gets there first in copywriting, or whatever, or if they're just like, I just don't want to deal with this stuff. Um,
yeah,
but I believe the producer of it is Griff First, who did a lot of these. I think he might have even did Atomic or Toxic Shark, if I'm correct. He
probably. I mean,
produced it. Oh, interestingly enough, you might not know this, John, but Griff First executive produced it, and his father, Stephen First, did. And you might know his father, Stephen, from a little movie called National
Flounder.
Lampoon's. Yep, Flounder from National Lampoon's
And
Animal
he was
House.
the he was the
oh,
unseen.
Yeah.
Who was that guy?
He's also a Magic Kid, which I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but it's magic, you know.
I would not see a movie called Magic Kid. I the Unseen and Animal House. Those are two movies I would like to know him from. So.
Um,
And the Unseen is awesome if you've never seen.
I
if
haven't.
you've never, I've unseen it.
You know, if
Uh,
you do watch it's a one of those ones that came out during the '80s that kind of got forgotten, and then it got revived, like The Boogans and some of these other movies, Funeral Home, that kind of got forgotten. But
Yeah,
it's a you'll know what I'm doing because he's a giant, mentally handicapped. Well, he's an adult, but I don't want to say the R word because I don't want to make anybody mad, but he's a mentally handicapped adult that is treated like a baby in a basement
oh,
by his parents. And he runs around going throughout the whole movie. So, and as he kills, Barbara Brock is in it, who's Ringo Starr's wife, who
oh
is the
wow.
Bond girl in The Spy Who Loved Me.
nice. So
So,
Griff First also produced Jersey Shore Shark Attack.
Oh yeah,
That's a fun one.
it
Uh,
really is
Ghost Shark, you
another
know.
fun one.
love Ghost Shark.
Yeah, and well, Saltwater. Trailer Park Shark, starring Tara
That's fun.
Reid.
Yes.
Um, and Nightmare Shark. Interestingly enough, I think he co-directed with his brother as the First Brothers, and which also stars Bobby Campo from this movie, the main guy from this movie, and the main girl from this movie, Rochelle Brooks Smith. So the one you thought was gorgeous, John, she's also
Yeah,
in
she is.
Nightmare Shark. So I
Okay.
actually own
Okay.
Nightmare Shark, and I've seen it, and it's just redonkulous,
It is.
it's like
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger with
I don't
sharks.
think I've ever seen it.
It's
Oh,
like
okay.
literally like the idea of a shark killing you in your dreams, you know.
Well,
Like,
what I read about Nightmare Shark was they were supposed to have the characters were supposed to be survivors from other shark movies, but they never really mentioned anything about it.
yeah, no, they were, and that's the thing. So they were in
I
that
bet they would
one,
play
and
more on.
I bet they were all survivors from all like the movies
Yeah,
that Griff produced, like Trailer Park Shark and
yeah, I
Ghost
think
Shark, and you know. And I think that's like when they have like those TV shows or whatever, and they bring in like Sherman Helmsley, in this, or whatever as a cameo. But there's like 12 cameos of all these like famous
yeah.
famous, sitcom actors or something. So
Are
that's to
they
me. What?
are they the same characters or are they just the same actors?
I think they were supposed to
Oh,
be,
they
but
are the same
yeah,
characters, same characters, because it
yeah,
says
but they
Kaplan
don't.
and Gina.
You got to make that known. You got to really put that out there. You got to have
But
each character go, oh yeah, I fought an atomic shark. Oh yeah, I fought a toxic shark. Oh yeah, I fought sharks in a trailer park. You got to have each person
A ghost
almost say
shark.
the
I fought a
title of the
ghost
movie.
shark
I
and
fought a
survived.
ghost shark. Yeah,
Now I
we
have to
thought at
fight a
first it was
nightmare
Sean C.
shark?
Phillips, but it ended up just being a ghost shark.
So I'm gonna go and rewatch that movie. I think it's probably on Tubi, is it? It says Bravo now. I know I have it, but I have it back in the studio.
I have a,
What?
I have a
I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, I think it's on Tubi too. I'm could be wrong, but
Tubi or
It
probably.
what?
It's probably on Tubi or Prime. That's where all shark movies seem to be.
Yeah, that's where they belong, man. Especially, especially. Oh yeah, okay. They don't have it there, so that sucks. It's not on Tubi. It'll eventually get there because I
Yeah.
think Tubi also likes to cycle around the shark movies. They don't like to do, the same ones.
Well, they got their original one that just came out, that Shark Side of the Moon.
Which is
Yeah,
from the Asylum.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah, I noticed that it said Asylum on it.
yeah, I'm excited. I want to see that. I just haven't
The
had.
trailer looks pretty good.
I can't watch anything like unless I'm reviewing it. So if we were reviewing the movie, I'd be like, oh, I'm excited. I get to see Shark Side of the Moon. But I'm not reviewing it. If I'm not reviewing a movie, I'm watching something that I'm gonna eventually review. So maybe I could watch it and say, where am I gonna put this? Because sadly, Shark Attack Sunday is only 8 episodes per season, and there are so many movies,
there's
and there's so many that keep getting made, shark movies every year. It's like hard to pick which shark movie you want to do, you know?
they're
Why
out
do you
like
think
crazy.
sharks?
What?
My question for both of you: why do you think like sharks are the like so huge when it comes to these things, and instead of a lion or a piranha or an eagle, why are sharks? Why do people love shark movies and doing them in different ways?
You
I
take it,
just
Maddie.
Well, I think since sharks, there's so many different types of species and they've been around millions of years, megalodons and all this stuff. There's so much you can do with the sharks. And I think, because obviously Jaws, people afraid of the ocean, and I don't know, people just seem to like to do shark movies because people are still afraid of sharks in the ocean, and you hear about shark attacks. You don't hear about lion attacks and stuff as
Why
much.
hasn't anybody ever made a clown shark? Because like
I actually
movie.
said that they missed the mark when it came out that Sci-Fi Channel should have done a clown shark.
Right. I mean, why not? Because like
I
everybody's afraid of clowns and people are afraid
Yeah,
of sharks, put them
yeah.
together
So
and that's
clown
a
shark,
terrifying
there's
thing.
that's your title. So you have a clown, an evil clown that's maybe drunk on a dock. It gets eaten by a shark, and then the clown, because it's evil, goes into the shark, and you slowly see the shark get the makeup on its face.
Yeah, I'd watch the
So
hell
it
out of it.
looks
I mean, you gotta see the
like a
make,
shark
yeah.
clown.
Uh, see, the problem is we have all these great ideas and then we just don't got money. Like if we had a company right now that would just fund these fucking movies, or whatever. I mean, Indiegogo worked really well for you, Maddie, and thank God it did. But, it doesn't work well for me, sadly, and all this other stuff.
A lot of
So
people, and I don't know why it worked well for me. If maybe just because I was doing a
I
shark
think
movie.
it's that, yeah, it's so maybe that's the thing. Maybe if I said, "Oh, I'm making clown shark," people would be like, "Oh
Yeah,
shit." But
it was
I
more probable.
I also think I think it's the person. I think a lot of people love you, Maddie, and they want to see you make a shark movie because you've been, think this is your passion, like sharks are your thing, you know? So I don't know. It's one of those things, but whatever. If I had like $1 billion, not okay, a few million even, I'd fund a bunch of these like low budget,
If you
uh
had that much money, I guarantee you wouldn't be doing any of this. You wouldn't know us. You would have no idea who we are.
well,
You
no,
would
but
have
if
a
I
completely
just got it like tomorrow, I'm not gonna be like, see you guys, peace, I'm out.
oh,
There's
I
none
would.
of that shit. I wouldn't.
I would. I definitely would.
You know what? I'd be the exact opposite of you. I'd be like, instead, I'd be creating like more stuff for the studio, and I'd be, and then it wouldn't just be for the podcasting or whatever, but it would be both things back to back, and I'd be doing it all like I'd be getting paperwork done at my office, and
Okay.
I
Okay.
would seriously make
I
this into my business.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the
I
thing. I just don't have
okay.
the capital. Which, hey, if anybody's watching this and wants to come
I
in
don't know.
and be the money man.
I think if you had $1 billion, I think you'd be absolutely wasting your time. But that's because you could do you're a billionaire. Why would you waste your time with a YouTube channel?
Well,
You
why?
just go
But
out and
but see,
actually make a
if you're a
movie.
billionaire, you can take your YouTube channel and completely build it up. I mean, it would be more like Red Letter Media and stuff where you
Well,
would have
guaranteed
like
they're not
camera
billionaires or even
people.
millionaires.
I know, and it'd probably be bigger than that then because we would have big celebrities come in
Yeah.
and, do our podcasts and stuff, and then we would get more famous and we'd get more money. That's the thing. If I could convince somebody that by funding this movie, you will make money, not funding movie, but funding the podcast, you'd make more money because we would be selling advertising and doing all this stuff, and then they would be making profit on it. But I need a way to show off that stuff. Once again, anybody here watching that's a billionaire that wants to come in and, help fund our podcast, we're down 100%. And you will make money, I promise you. You know. I guarantee you it, or John has to, I don't know. I couldn't even think of anything that John would have to do.
I
I'm
was
done.
waiting for a
That
good
I
one.
thought it was gonna be good, and
I
then I
mean,
was like,
I I've always laughed when somebody goes, if I won the lottery, I would still work my shit job as a bus driver.
"Oh, no,
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 you
no, no,
wouldn't.
no, no."
No,
But
you
see,
wouldn't.
but the
You would
shit
quit that
job
thing
thing is
so
different.
fast.
The shit job thing is different, because this is a passion. I enjoy doing this.
We got off
We even had
topic
this
again, by the way.
discussion privately, John. Remember when I said that if I were to get if I were to get money or whatever, I would completely keep this stuff. I would keep the YouTube channel, and if I were to become Hollywood, I would still continue to do it if I could, if I had time. That would be the difference. Problem is
Yeah.
that if you're working in
Oh,
Hollywood, you probably wouldn't have as
and
much
my thing
time.
was right, and like I've always said, you're either a YouTube creator or you're a filmmaker. You're
Yeah,
one or the other. You can't do both.
you can do both. I swear to God,
I
it
think
is
this is a
possible.
discussion for another time. We have gone now so far off of what this video is that
Well, we're also
I
talking
mean,
about filmmaking, which is what this movie was, a good venture into filmmaking. As Maddie pointed out, it's a fun little project, you
yeah,
know. The CGI shark looks silly, but fun. It was enjoyable, like the whole idea. Oh, and what did you guys think of all the fish that apparently people ate all the local fish and
That's
I was
my
like, wait, are they eat all the dead fish that look like burnt up and shit? Or was it like they ate
I don't no, I think they just ate just the fish that they caught in the ocean.
and
yeah,
that just happened to
But
also
she
be
atomic.
yeah, probably like
atomic?
everything around there, yeah, would be
Okay.
messed up. So and she just had the flash to the fish on the yeah, I don't think they went around picking them up and then served them at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
that's
was
what
like
they
looking
did
at
to
that, I
make
was like,
the
I
You
hope
never
entire
not.
place
know.
blow up.
Man, I
I
bet
really love the food critic. That's probably my favorite part. That seems so played off so ridiculous and like a funny, parody of those types of shows.
I actually was
It's so
thinking I
funny.
was thinking about Bar Rescue when they did that. And I was like
Yeah.
thinking, wouldn't it be funny if there was like a bar rescue scene where the guy's coming in and it's like, oh, this is a shit restaurant. But in this scene, it was more like Gordon Ramsay where
Yeah.
he's like, but it's like, what is Gordon Ramsay like when he's like filming his scenes and he's like, hey, I'll tell you about the ingredients. Like
Yeah.
I tell you the
Yeah.
ingredients. You don't tell me the ingredients, and all that stuff. And I was just
Yeah,
like,
that whole scene
I
cracks.
loved it. I loved it. It was fun. Um, I love that scene. I love yeah, and then all the people just keep get die. The only thing I thought John would not like is the cat scene. The cats. They don't show the cats dying, but the cats are eating the fish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well they obviously died in the fire, yeah, and the cat throws up what it's eating and then re-eats it. So it was like, eee.
Yeah. So
Well, we
it
didn't
was
see them, so as far as we know, once everybody started screaming because they're cats, they just ran away.
right, but they could
So
have
that's all we
exploded
did.
because they ate the fish too. You know.
You're rude. You're
I'm sorry.
rude.
I know you don't like cats
Happy
dying,
ending.
but I mean, you want the happy ending, right? You know, the
Well, I don't
cats.
like any animals dying, but that's it's a
Well,
movie.
and
So
I like it where you don't see it. If you don't see it happening, to me, it doesn't, it lessens the blow,
I was sad that the atomic shark died. I mean, it's we created it, and it's just that an atomic shark is just doing what an atomic shark does. You
It
know,
was just, yeah, it was just a poor shark that just happened to become atomic, right?
yeah. Well, and then
It,
they had that weak ending where a shark goes past the camera after looking at some old rusted ship, and I'm like, was that supposed to be like a sequel?
I
Like this
think so. I
this
think it was trying to
shark?
say that there's another atomic shark. But I'm
But it
Yeah.
was just
like,
a regular shark. It wasn't red. It
And the
wasn't doing
atomic
anything.
water, I think, was supposed to be the point. But yeah, it's kind of weak, and they could have made the teaser a little bit better.
yeah, they
Yes,
should
they
have
could have
made
just
it.
used the same shark.
Well, it was obviously a like a uh what is it called? When you footage. It was just random footage, from probably.
Right, but if you're trying to set us up for a sequel, then or a possible sequel, just use the same shark. Just have it go past the camera.
Yeah, it's a new.
Then
It's
that
yeah,
there's a second one. It was just kind of. It was
yeah. It
just like,
would.
oh, it's just a shark.
I think that would have been cool, like if the shark just like the same shark that died, but it's now a different shark. It's a different, another
Yeah.
shark got turned into atomic shark, and now it's coming back out. But then, like, I was just thinking, okay, so then what's all right? Like then they didn't really do anything. Then, like, then the ending
No.
just kind of like, to me, that's sort of weak because like even like what I liked about the first Jaws is Jaws blows up, because I'm sure Steven Spielberg didn't say, "Oh, this is going to be a franchise,"
Yeah,
Like he was
probably.
like, "We're going to blow up the
No,
shark. It's going to be the end,
that's
and
why
that's it."
the first shark is male, the second shark is female. When she got electrocuted, she popped out the shark that went to Jaws 3.
Yeah. So there
That's
was
actually true. That's the theory. That's if you read
was
the
that in the
book for
book?
Jaws 2,
Like, yeah, okay.
yeah, she's pregnant. And
Which
it's
is
and that's
it's
the
so
shark that
funny. You can find out all this information about the movies you love by reading the books, which are adaptations of the movies, but like they explain a little bit more, I guess, and stuff. So they go into more detail, but like Star Wars does that, the original, I have the original trilogy, Star Wars 1, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi as not, novels and everything. And it does go into more detail, than what you know from the movie, which I think is pretty neat.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They say with like Jaws 2 is the shark saw its mate explode, and that's why it took revenge.
yeah, I think I remember hearing that.
God damn, these great white sharks, are they all from the same family? Are they just all pissed off at the Brodies?
I
Jesus.
think in the
Yeah,
Jaws world, yes.
The Jaws universe.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
need to make, I hate to say, like, I know people are like, oh my God, it'd be blasphemous to remake Jaws. Like, why not? Or, I mean, right now, so many are being made as independent films.
Uh-uh.
Hollywood should just remake Jaws.
No, no,
Why not?
no.
think that Jaws should be
I
remade.
would say remake it with the footage that was well, not remake it, but release the old version with all the footage that's missing.
Like, what footage?
There's a ton of shark stuff that's missing.
Oh,
Spielberg thought that like when the shark kills the kid on the raft, there's if you go onto YouTube, you can find it. The footage is there. Some of it's done as stills, but you can see the shark come right up and like go right down on the kid.
Mm.
And he cut all that. There's the scene in the pond where the shark has the guy in the boat that's telling the kids how
That's
to
in
do the
our
knot.
first opening of our thing. In our Shark Attack Sunday intro, the ending is that guy getting pulled down under from the boat.
Yeah, there's that shot where the shark is right above the water and it goes past Brody's kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy in the shark's mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff missing that they could put back in. I mean, it just seemed like a restoration.
I'm sorry. That would be cool too, but I want to fucking. I want to.
You did get a remake. It's called Deep Blue Sea.
It's not really.
Deep Blue Sea is not a remake.
It's not a remake.
It's the closest thing that we're going to get right now because Spielberg wanted to show the sharks, and Deep Blue Sea did that. He just didn't. We didn't get to see. If you look at the storyboards, we didn't get the shark because the shark never worked. Otherwise, we would have had Great White Shark all over that movie.
Great white shark all over the place.
All over the place.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. Anyway, we keep talking about everything but Atomic Shark.
Well, I'll say in Atomic Shark, I always like in these movies, and it could be any of the movies, really, just but I like the pseudoscience.
Yeah.
I like the lifeguard who's going to school and she's like, well, the reason why it hasn't blown up is because the salt water keeps it cold.
Mm-hmm.
Which then kind of foreshadows the ending when it's up on land, when it's on that little island, and it explodes. But I always like the pseudoscience. They have like on YouTube those videos where like a real scientist or a real judge or a real lawyer looks at movies and they tell you, if it's correct or not. They need to find somebody who will do these movies.
You talk to Paul because we had a girl who was a NASA intern, that was roommates with Paul. So our idea was we had her on Indie Film Cafe do a lot of the science movies, so that she could debunk all the science stuff. Like she talked about how in the movie Polymorph, they're not actually doing polymorph in that, and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, this is interesting. I wouldn't have known, I wouldn't have known any better, but it's always nice to hear somebody actually bring facts to that stuff. So.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's what our idea was to have Lenore do science movies, and it could be shark movies too, but anything that has science in it and debunk all the science in it, or say that's right, that is actually, because sometimes she did that. Sometimes she was like, that's actually correct what they did, and we're like, oh God, that's crazy. How did they be able to do that? Considering they're not a scientist. That's why you need somebody who knows science on your movie on a movie that's supposed to be talking about science.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you need a person who knows about sharks and stuff on a set for a movie about sharks. I mean, just
exactly. Because unless any type of movie you're doing that works with science or whatever, you need someone to talk about, or if you're doing any type of, medical drama, any of that, you need someone who knows about that stuff, or it's gonna be a lot of inconsistencies.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, or less, because that's I had a book when I worked at Barnes and Noble. We're talking decades ago, and it was comparing movies. So they compared, oddly, Outbreak, the Dustin Hoffman movie, to Devil Bat, the Bela Lugosi film, and they said that Outbreak is so incredibly flawed. Like everything they say in the movie is not true because they give so much science, they talk so much about it. But Devil Bat is correct because Bela Lugosi doesn't tell us how he creates the Devil Bat. He takes the little bat, he puts it in the machine, he throws the lever, the electricity comes down, he goes back, the Devil Bat's this big, and he sets it free to go kill people. It's completely logical. because there is no explanation of it whatsoever.
Makes
And so the
sense.
scientist says that's more plausible than anything that was in Outbreak,
And
which is
I
why I think it's smart with zombie movies. Don't tell how the zombies come out. Don't do that
Yeah, that
because
doesn't matter. It's just zombies are,
it just
like
happens.
yeah,
The you don't the more reasons you give for things, the less real it's going to be.
exactly. So I totally agree. I feel like movies should be careful. And I think a lot of times it's the producers or other people that are like, well, why? Why does this happen? Why does that happen? And then the writer has to go and, explain all these things because the producer doesn't understand. And then it all gets all like jumbled up and maybe we don't, and the whole
Yeah.
world doesn't
Well,
understand.
but like what Maddie said is also correct, though, is that you do want somebody that's there who knows what they're doing. So
Hmm.
if you're doing a war film, yeah, you do want somebody
That-
who knows World War II or World War One to be there to make sure that things are correct. But if you introduce a werewolf, okay, we'll make the World War II stuff correct.
Hmm.
But then your own rules apply to the werewolf.
Exactly. No, I agree. Um, so yeah, to go back to Atomic Shark once again. Uh, so the so I'm trying to think like there was a lot of lifeguard stuff in this movie, and I was actually thinking of Malibu the one we watched Malibu Shark Attack, where
Yeah.
there was a
Yeah.
little bit of but it made no sense at times. Like, why would these like the lifeguards that are there are only in it for like 5 minutes or something, like at work, and then all of a sudden they have to deal with all the shit. So, but I did like this lifeguard stuff in this movie. Like, it almost kind of felt Baywatchy, like
Yeah, definitely.
the hot lifeguards. And what was wrong with the guy that runs, like Reese, I think his name was. He was like
I thought that was hilarious. He takes it so seriously, just like this
yelling.
is, you know, this is my life, man. I'm a lifeguard. You wuss with your knee in a cast, as he says. It's not a cast. I mean, you can just go buy that at Smith's if you want to. I
Uh,
mean, it's just a knee thing. I've had one before, and but yeah, he takes it so deadly
he yelled
seriously.
when he's on the light when he and the girl, the I think Asian girl or whatever, go to give CPR to the kid, right, on the boat. You know, they swim up to the thing together, and he looks at the boat driver, and he's like, "All right, you over here, and then you go down there and do that." And I'm like, "Are you a military
Like
guy
a
or
drill
like?"
sergeant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like and like the guy on the boat's just like, all right, whatever, like that guy just
Exactly.
just doesn't care or whatever. But I'm
Well,
just like
and he
laughing my
assaults
ass off
our
at
lead.
what?
He assaults our lead.
Oh yeah,
He's
he hates.
constantly hitting him. He's like, "What are you doing here, man?" He like hits him in the shoulder. It's like, "Oh no, I'm going to sue you for assault."
Yeah, and he fires him, in his
For
car,
saving a life.
the car or something. It's like, what the fuck? Um, lets him go. And he's like, I love that part where the guy's running around going, "Hey, I'm fired. Hey, did you know I'm fired?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm fired." I was like, I love that. Like, I wish I could have done that in any of my jobs. Next time I'm fired from someplace, I'm like, hey, I'm fired. And guess what? You
Guess what?
random
I
person,
just
I'm
got fired.
fired, you know? So,
Well, and Manny brought up the drones, and I thought that was a good use of drones. I actually liked it. I can't think of
mm,
another shark film or any other film like this that actually uses drones and for
Oh,
in a good way.
creative.
yeah, well, they use it for the good way because they're trying to find out if uh there's sharks in the water, right? And everything. I thought that was great. But then David Faustino's using it to check out girls, and I I love when he's like, "Oh, well, the beach is public domain, so I can
Yeah, I love
whatever."
that.
And they're like, "I don't think it works that way," you know? I don't think the law works that way, like you can't just take video of because they're on the beach, and
If it's a
whatever.
public beach and it's a mass gathering, you can't.
Is that really the law?
Yeah, yeah. You could go to a any like a shopping mall and you could take video and you don't have to have permission.
Is that why in Apex Predators, like they have video of all these people that obviously were not that probably did not sign permission, or whatever, didn't sign releases at all, but all of like there's so many people and you can see their faces in it, and I'm like, oh God, just wait till somebody goes, "Hey mom, did you know you're in Apex Predators?" And they're like,
What?
"What?" I'm gonna sue the fuck out of that Dustin Ferguson guy and and
Yeah.
everything. Like just wait till that happens.
Yeah, yeah. I watch a lot of these audit videos and where like they go into police stations or they go into other places that are considered public and they take videos and then they do, and they request records and all that stuff. And the cops always try to throw them out. And the guy's like, no, this isn't private property. This is public property. And I'm allowed to shoot video in here. He goes, you got security cameras doing it right now.
Yep.
And so I've actually learned a lot from that. So if you're in a park and you're shooting a film and somebody goes, hey, you can't, I don't want to be in your movie, you can just look at him and go, tough shit. It's a public park.
Yeah.
So if you're on a beach, yeah, it's the same thing, I believe, because it's a public beach. Now, if it's a private beach, that might be different. But if it's a public beach, then that's you could do it.
Interesting. Then I thought that chick was right. So maybe David Faustino was right. That he was allowed to shoot girls' butts if he felt like it, they can't do anything about that. That was such a weird thing because like it felt like they wanted to go sleazy on it, but then they couldn't because it was gonna go eventually on Sci-Fi Channel. So like it was just like people, and some of them were not attractive butts. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, ugh, why am I seeing
That
this?
adds to
Um,
the humor, though.
but
I think it kind of adds to the humor that it's just kind of,
everybody's butt.
yeah.
Anybody's butt that's just, on the beach walking around.
Yeah.
John, it could have been your butt. I don't know.
It could have been. It could have been.
And then you can't sue because it's public domain apparently at the beach.
No,
No.
no, no. That's right. Yeah, I mean, you can't. If you get into a car accident and you start recording the person and a license plate and all that stuff, you could, and they go turn that off. You don't have to. It's
Ugh,
your right to film
this
that.
seems morally wrong.
It's actually it's a First Amendment right.
Hmm.
So that you can do it. So yeah. So him doing it is pervy. Yeah, shooting all their butts, but he could do it. Sure.
It's
What
definitely
what do you
pervy.
think about the two environmentalists? What do you think about them?
The who?
The two environmentalists?
The main girl, or like was there a
No, the guy and the girl that were shooting the video, and they're you see
Oh,
the guys in
yeah.
like the toxic suits, and they're like, hey, we need to learn the truth, man. And
Yeah, I think
he
they're
gets
fun.
he gets he's using like the iPod or the i
Yeah.
tablet or whatever it
iPad?
is,
Yeah.
and how did you ban it throughout the entire movie?
Well, I was
Yeah.
trying to think. I was thinking when you were saying that the people that were interviewing the girl or whatever, and
Yeah, them. Yeah,
those
the
people. Okay,
environmentalists.
because I was like, I just thought they were stupid at first because they were like, they were bothering her while she's at work, and she's even telling them, "Hey, I'm at work. Can you leave me alone? Like, come back, whatever." And so they're bothering her there, and then they're asking her these questions, and then when she's actually saying stuff, they're like, "Oh, just play along, just go along with it, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "What? Like, why would you like why wouldn't you want her to tell the truth on stuff?" Oh, of course, because everything's got to be a lie, right? You know, I don't know. It was weird.
I don't think I got that. I mean, they were reporting her, and she got pretty honest because she goes like, you can't destroy it, and you know.
Well, I meant like she was saying she wasn't even she didn't even go to school for that stuff or whatever.
Well,
Like
she's studying.
she's studying, but she's not actually a, and they were like, "Oh, let's just go with it," you know. And I'm like, "No, that would be lying on, like, that would be falsifying information on yourself, and stuff like that's
Well,
not
I mean, unless she's telling them what she knows, and she
mm.
seems to know a lot about the shark.
Well, she knew about the fish and stuff and the atomic and where it probably came from, which I thought was a little strange that she knew all that information when she's just a lifeguard, you know.
Wow, you just took that right from her. You just said she's just a lifeguard.
Well, she was. Like,
Wow.
she wasn't an actual
I'm
environmental
canceling you,
person.
Moody. I'm canceling you.
I liked her though. I
That,
liked I
that
liked the
that's like saying
lead
she's
actor.
just a prostitute. It's a job. You disgust me. You disgust me.
This show is over. It's been canceled.
I
Um,
walked out last time, and I'll do it again.
wait, did you?
Remember, I got up and I walked out, but I can't.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that, but I don't remember what I ate earlier today, so it's okay.
Fair
I'm
enough.
40. It's what happens. You know.
But inside, you're like 86 because you haven't had supper yet. You're missing Murder She Wrote,
Ah, Miss Murder, She Wrote.
missing Matlock. Matlock.
Or Perry Mason. Oh, remember that show?
Yeah,
That's older than Matlock. Um, but
and
anyway,
that's a connection to Godzilla, actually, which would be connected to this.
a Raymond Burr.
Raymond Burr was played Steve Martin in the original Godzilla.
Oh wow.
You know what? In the remake of Godzilla, Steve Martin should have played Raymond Burr.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why
Don't
did
know
that?
why they didn't do that. Jesus. You know, they didn't
in
have
Godzilla
me.
1985, they just call him Mr. Martin. They never call him Steve.
No, what a bummer. Steve Martin gets no love in that one.
Yeah, poor Steve Martin. Yeah, yeah.
What happened in the 1996 one with, or 98, whatever the one with Matthew Broderick? Was he Steve Martin?
No, that one doesn't count. That's what's
Oh,
called Zilla. That one doesn't count. It's
I,
horrible.
I thought it was Godzilla.
It was Godzilla, but the Japanese refer to it as Zilla because they don't consider it to be a Godzilla movie. They just call
It's
it
just like
Zilla.
it's Zilla.
And then
Not
in
a good.
Godzilla Final Wars, Godzilla does fight it and kills it in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh man. So we've talked about Godzilla, we've talked about a lot of other shit that wasn't Atomic Shark in this movie, in this review.
I
But
think that they should team up Atomic Shark with maybe like Toxic Shark. I think that they should have done a
I
spin-off.
don't think it's by the same people though, so it'd have to be like a commingling of production
Well, it
companies
could
or
be
something.
Toxic with like two X's or something, you know.
I don't know,
I'd
or
watch
maybe
it.
yeah. I don't know, Toxic Shark, but
Or
Toxie
Lava
Shark, it would
Shark.
be a
That's it.
trauma movie. Toxie Shark.
I'd watch it.
I know you would. You'd watch anything with a shark. Like literally, if it says
Literally.
shark and it's a movie about a shark, some kind of shark, you'd watch it, Maddie. Don't lie. Like
I
it
wouldn't
doesn't.
lie. That's like common knowledge.
Yeah. So there's
Is
no
there an
way.
Amityville Shark movie yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Amityville Shark House.
On C. Phillips is making that.
Yeah. Or yeah.
That horrible. I mean, that wonderful thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like because it's was it SRS
Yeah.
put it out. So I'm guessing like it's supposed to be sort of like how they did House Shark and then House Squatch and now Amityville House whatever Shark or whatever Shark House, which I'm just like, all right, they're just putting everything with a house now, like say House Potato. I don't know. Like
Potato?
I
I'll buy
don't
it when it's $5.
you'll buy well, yeah, I guess the SRS has those sales. You'll
Yeah, they have
you'll be
some
able
good.
to buy them for that. I don't know. I honestly, it's getting a little bit too much, and I think that's becoming the problem. It's just like the Amityville or Ouija or I actually did for horror film lovers for my first time watch Friday episodes. I did the theme for the month was doing all the different stuff that, everybody's doing. So there was the start one was a shark one, so I did bait. Then I did an Amityville one, which was Amityville witches or whatever, the witches of Amityville, which wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. And then Ouija Geist, and then I did Doll Movie. And those are all four of like if you put all four of them together, you'd have a hit. Amityville, Shark Doll,
Longest title in history.
Ouija, Shark Doll. I don't
The Doll Shark is coming out from Mark Polonia.
know. Right. In which
So why
SRS.
didn't they do Amityville Doll Shark with they
Because they're
some
saving that for the sequel, you know?
oh God.
Obviously. It's gonna be, because that's all of those things are things that Mark Polonia has done. He's done a doll movie, he's done a shark movie, he's done a Ouija movie, and he's done a uh, you know, um
Amityville movies.
he's done a bunch of Amityville movies.
Exactly.
Way too many. Love him to death, but it's just like, oh my God, Amityville in space, Amityville, like
Uh,
too many of these things, you know. Love it sometimes, but then all the other times I'm just like, okay, can we start getting original ideas again? Like even indie films are getting unoriginal. That's when we know we're kind of hit a slump right now.
it's just because everyone's following the trends.
Yeah, because that's what the distributions want, you
Yeah.
know. And until people put out their own movies or something, which you can on Tubi, and everything, like why not, do that? So I don't know. It's crazy. Um, but all right,
Well,
so what
so speaking of the movie that we're reviewing, um,
this
can
this
somebody please
movie?
explain to me how they were going to kill the shark? I still don't understand
I
how they were going
don't.
to kill Atomic Shark.
I
They had
mean, I
two
don't even
boats.
know how they did kill the shark. I guess
Yeah.
he just eventually blew
She,
up because he was on
yeah,
the
because it was out of the
land.
water.
Is
It
out of
wasn't
water.
cooling down. Yeah,
Uh, okay. Like I
but
didn't get.
I'm so confused. She's like, get two boats. They're going to destroy the good boat for some reason and keep the shitty boat. They put the engine of one of the boats in a life raft. I mean, in like a life preserver. They're throwing chum out. I don't under. I'm not
And,
understanding how
and
they were
then
going to kill the shark.
And then this, like, she had to get in the water to shoot at the shark, but there was something that I was tied and then it broke. So then she almost got eaten by the shark. Remember? Like, there was something that was like, I didn't understand anything that was going on by the end of the movie. I was just like, okay, this seems like a very elaborate and like way too detailed plan, and I feel like it was like they could not figure out how to end this movie, so they just like threw everything into the kitchen sink and just was like, and then they
I,
killed everybody except for the main two people, which I don't even remember. I must have blinked because I don't remember the father dying. The I don't
Oh,
remember
the
what happened.
shark just grabbed him off the boat.
Oh,
He just like he fell off the boat, or the shark grabbed him off the boat,
I
and
don't remember that.
you know
He was all of a sudden he
the
was
one.
gone. I was like, okay.
I think the funniest death is the one that doesn't have really any sound. It's weird. Is when the dickhead lifeguard, like the boss, is
yeah.
he's holding up that spear thing, and he jumps at the shark, and the shark just eats him, and that's it. Like he jumps at it, that goes into his mouth, I guess, and the shark just goes into the
That's
water.
it.
Like it's not dramatic. It's not really. It's just. It's. I actually rewound it, going, oh, okay, it's that simple. Okay, because
Yeah.
he makes such a big thing out of that stick that he has. I'd much rather have this than a gun. Yeah. So yeah, as you're running towards somebody with your stick, let's see how fast you can avoid that bullet.
And then
Yeah.
the one chick that was on she was so annoying. The one girl that was there that was like, "You let him die." Oh,
Oh
Oh, the
yeah.
right?
brunette.
And I'm like, "Oh my God, can we please kill her?" It was her and the other girl that just drove me nuts because that one Asian girl, I think she's Asian. I don't want to say she is and she's not, but the one girl who did the CPR, that's not the same girl, right? That was on
She's
the boat.
Asian. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, you just don't want to say that she's Japanese or Chinese because you
well, no,
don't
I
know.
just didn't know what, yeah, I didn't know, whatever. Anyway, she comes up to the guy at one point and starts crying like a little child.
I thought she
Like,
was faking it,
I thought so too, but
and then
I
she
thought,
starts to cry again when the girl leaves.
yeah. So I'm like, I thought she
But
was gonna
that's why
stop
I see.
when
That's why I think the filmmakers read the script and go, okay, we like the atomic shark, but the script is blah. So we're just gonna throw all this comedy in it, and they're like, Susan, run over here, and you're just gonna like cry horribly, and then not cry when the girl leaves, and then turn back, and I think she says like, did she just leave the scene of a crime or something? And then
yeah,
she starts crying
she
again.
fled the scene and then she cried.
Yeah,
It
did
was
you just flood?
like yeah, it was fucking weird. This whole like this whole movie had such a weird thing. I dug the weirdness to it because like it at least kept my attention, as opposed to like I don't know. There's so many of these shark movies that take themselves way too Shark Huntress took itself way too seriously at times where I'm just like, I don't care. I want all of you guys to die,
Exactly.
you know. But this was
Oh my
like,
god.
we're making a movie called Atomic Shark. Let's just be stupid
Yeah,
and
I'm all
stuff.
for stupid, fun, ridiculous, and that's this movie delivers all of it.
And you love sharks on land, it looks like. We had Land Shark with
Yeah,
you, and this was the one on land, and
It
you
went on
couldn't
land,
stay
yeah.
on land. What was it?
I said, yeah, yeah, it went on land, yeah, yeah.
So we've had a few
Unlike
actually in this thing. Like Super Shark did that too.
Super Shark's fun.
Yeah. Sorry you
Except
weren't a part of
yeah,
that. I wish you could have
yeah,
been, you know.
oh, this was so much better than Super
Super
Shark. I
Shark,
thought.
yeah, I
which
like
is
this shark.
which is hilarious because Fred Olen Ray is a great director, and I
Yeah,
don't know where he went wrong with that movie. You know? But this movie, uh,
I don't know.
I'll tell
Orson
you where
Welles
he
is a
went
great
wrong.
director.
He took it seriously, where in this one, it's so over the top, stupid and dumb and funny and silly that like, and then sometimes it's serious, but not really, you know. Um, I'll tell you one thing, it's no Marina Monster though. That's
No,
gonna
it's not.
be on Indie Film Cafe coming up.
I can't wait for that because that movie
Yeah,
is good.
so you can listen to us talk about
Don't
that
know that
silly
one.
movie. Yeah, trust me, that movie is way worse than this movie. And it's
Where can that one be found?
you have to buy it from the person, I believe.
I
They
think
own
so. I got it from
um
Amazon years ago, but I
it
think it was
might still be on there.
factory
But
selling it on.
basically imagine like a bunch of scenes where people are on a dock and then just randomly everybody just pushes people in for no reason and then they get eaten by the
Oh,
shark.
that's the one that you and Paul have talked about.
Yeah. Yeah, we reviewed that for Indie Film Cafe and it was so ridiculous. We had a fun time with it, but
It's a hoot.
yeah, it's so it, at first I was like I was like why am I like what is going on and then when I realized how stupid it was I was like I'm going with it. And we're
Yeah,
hoping next year to do Vampire Dentist, with Madeline, you know.
I
Um
need to get
you
movie.
just need to get a copy of that.
Is the
So,
shark a dentist?
well, it's a vampire dentist. So there's a vampire dentist. There's no shark.
But it's not a shark. It's not a vampire dentist shark.
No, it's not Sharkula, which has already been done.
And Mark Bologna again.
We've done one Mark Bologna one on this season,
I,
and
I
I
I
guess
can't watch
every
Sharkula.
season you should do a
I think
Mark Bologna movie,
not
like
Yeah.
Sharkula. That's I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. Did you see Sharkula, Maddie? You
I
watched it
haven't
yet?
watched that.
We'll talk to you
It,
after
it
about it.
oh, I'll bring it up right now because I think that they should have reshot. But it's the idea of the film is fine, everything in it is fine, but there's most of the well, like a quarter of the film was shot at like the wrong film rate, so everything is stuttering.
Really?
So all these scenes, yeah. So I don't know if it was the camera that they were using or if it
And
was
you
the
said the 2B
rendering.
does that too? The 2B one does that too?
Yeah. Then I saw a review for it where the guy brings it up, where he's like, "Why does this look like it's shot at a different film rate? Like it's shot at something like 30 frames per second instead of like 24." And
Ah.
I couldn't finish the movie. I was so excited to watch it, and I just couldn't.
Um,
I turned it off because it's frustrating if looking because
That's
the other stuff in the film looks fine, and I'm sorry, Mark, I love your stuff, but I just can't. I couldn't get through it. Maybe one day I will, but the
we
stuff should have
did.
been reshot,
I'm glad we did Noah's Shark then, because you were talking about doing
which looked
Sharkula,
great.
So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we did Noah's Shark, and you know, I, yeah, we could have done Sharkula, but I would have had to buy it. I'm kind of glad I didn't buy it, if it doesn't look like it, because I hate to
yeah.
say it, but I swear, if it was Mark's issue and then he accidentally did that, sent out the wrong frame rate and everything like that. Wild Eye should have checked, but we know this for a fact that Wild Eye is very much known for not checking their discs and checking their stuff because they put out the wrong like animator,
Oh,
you
I was
know,
thinking
and
that.
right, so like they're known for this and everything. So maybe they'll do Sharkula Raw and whatever.
Oh yeah,
Th that's what they did with
with
uh
Lycan.
the like Animator. They re-released it, and it's not much different except it's the better version,
Yeah,
and stuff. So but I own both the Wild Eye one and I got the one that Dustin sent me,
yeah.
Dustin Hubbard. And
I have three of them.
so you have the
Uh,
Raw and whatever one
I
too?
have the two that Wild
Wild
Eye
Eye
released,
did.
and then I
Yep.
have the or Wild Eye, yeah. Then I have the crowdfunded one
Yep.
because I gave to that film.
Oh,
So each
awesome.
film is different, which is nice. So, but it's
I gave that
yeah,
film too,
I
so
was
there you
just
go.
I, yeah, I just can't because I was so excited because I love Sharkenstein so much that I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted Sharkula, you know, to, and
Because then,
I can't get past that frame rate.
how awesome would it be? Like, how there is House of Dracula. They could have a House of Sharkula and have all the different, like Sharkenstein fighting Sharkula, and
Yeah,
you
that's what we
know,
need.
that's what we need. We need the House of Sharkula. Mark Polonia, if you're watching this, which you probably aren't because this isn't about your movie, but if you do, maybe I'll put it as a clip on TikTok or something. But Mark Polonia, please, for the love of God, make House of Sharkula and make it be Sharkula versus Sharkenstein and maybe have like a were shark at
Mummy
some
Shark.
point. Mummy
We
shark.
could put him Paul's in my Mummy Shark.
Yeah.
Can be
Love Mummy
then
Shark.
then then he's done Frankenstein, Dracula, and Mummy, and then somehow maybe we could fit a werewolf shark in
Were
Yeah,
shark, or wolf shark. I don't know, whichever one you want to do. Shark wolf.
Shark.
Shark wolf. I don't know. Whatever. But you put them all in together, and then Wild Eye will put that out.
Of
You
course
know,
they will.
like especially a House of Sharkula. That would kill. And
Oh shit, man! They released all of Ferguson movies, so why wouldn't they release?
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so we're gonna rate this now on the stinkometer, and I'm gonna explain to everybody what the stinkometer is. The stinkometer is a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being, very, very good movie, and 10 being very, very stinky and bad. And just think if a cheese smelled really, really terrible, would you put it a 1 or would you put it at a 10? You put it at a 10 being, oh, this is a really stinky cheese. That's sort of what we use as our caliber for this. Or you could do a point 0.5, something like 5.5, 6.5 if you feel like you can't decide between one or the other, and whatnot. So I'm gonna let Maddie go first since this is Maddie's project and she obviously, probably already had an idea in her head.
I think I would give this a two. I mean, I adore this movie. I think it's really fun, and I usually try to watch this every, shark season, whatever. It's just a great movie, fun movie. You can turn off your brain, have a couple beers, have friends, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fun movie for me, and almost kind of a comfort movie to me. I really enjoy it. I think it's really fun.
Oh, so this would be something you watch when you're sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
turn this on and be like, this makes me happy. Okay.
yeah.
Beast
There's
of
just
Bray
something
Road is
about it.
that for
Yeah.
me for sci-fi.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like Beast of Bray Road a lot.
Yeah. So that movie always, anytime I can watch that movie, like I get really excited and happy and I can just lay
Yeah.
down and watch it. So there you go. What about you, John?
Um, 10 being really stinky, one not being stinky. I would probably go 4.
Yeah, that's actually where I was gonna go with it. Um, 4 is a good number because it's not, to me, this isn't a comfort movie yet. Maybe this would be something I might, if I watch more than once, or something, I might start to like feel that way about it, but I don't have that same feeling and everything from doing that. But I did really, really enjoy it. It wasn't a terribly done movie, I don't think there was that many continuity errors, or the sound was good. The acting was There was some acting that was a little over the top and stuff, but I think that was played for comic effect or something, like silliness. It didn't bother me at all. I kind of the comedy stuff I kind of was like, all right, this is how that's gonna be. So but yeah, awesome. Well, this has been great. This is the second to last episode of Shark Attack Sunday. Um, John, you've been in every episode with me,
Wow.
so we've both been in every episode. And Maddie, next year we'll have to get you more,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Find what's going on.
We'll have to do it where I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to have to do it before, before the week
Yeah.
or whatever, so that we can make sure that these get done. So this will be done like April or something, and then be
Yeah.
up in July and August. But we will, this will be back for another season because yeah, I enjoyed it. And each season it looks like it gets longer, but can't really do that with this season. This season's the longest it can go because I think we started at Shark Week, and just
Mhm.
went to the end of August, or whatever. So really happy. But these are not you know, these aren't the greatest of shark movies generally. But it seemed like you liked Land Shark and this one a lot, and everything. So you pick some good ones. I picked Apex Predators and a Ouija Shark. So,
I love Ouija Shark, so
Ouija Shark was good.
Ouija Shark is awesome. I
Yeah,
love
I
Ouija
liked
Shark.
Ouija Shark. I'm looking forward to
Cannot
part
wait for
two.
part 2.
Yeah, looking forward to
oh
part two.
yeah, I'm
Crazy.
excited.
It looks nuts. It looks just as nuts as this movie here, if not even nuttier, you know.
That's what we need.
Yeah, we need nuttier
Well,
in this.
and also remember, I did my own Shark one for Reviews After Midnight that I
Yeah.
called Shark Week because I knew it wouldn't be out during Shark Week, but I wanted to do a Shark Week shark
Yeah.
video and did Blood in the Water, which was very disappointing. So
I have it. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't had a chance.
it
I
is
haven't heard good stuff.
literally Saw with a shark.
Yeah, that's good.
I'd say in
Shark
the
Saw.
video, like, well, it's almost like what they used to do back in the day, where they would just a film would be a hit, and then they would just find a movie that's similar and just retitle it.
Hmm.
And they could have called this like Saw 9, and it
Hmm.
would have worked perfectly because that's all it is Shaw. It is Saw, and but the shark's disappointing, and it just could have been so much better. But it is literally Saw, and so I'm gonna keep it. I mean, I like it because of that because I do kind of see it as a Saw movie, so I
Hmm.
kept it. But so yeah, so we have even more shark review stuff out there than just this. And then Maddie
Exactly.
has her the shitty shark Sundays is it or shitty shark Thursdays?
Oh,
What?
what? Shitty Shark Show?
Yeah, that's what she does, is this shitty
Yeah.
shark show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like we have all of our
And
shark stuff,
yeah,
shark schedule
and
right here.
plus, I mean, like I said, we've got Marina Shark that's coming out. So, or Marina Monster is coming
Yeah.
out in for Indie Film Cafe. So we did a shark movie in August for August, and then I don't even think that was the plan. I don't know. Maybe it was with Paul. You know, Paul, he picks things or whatever. But we hadn't done a shark movie for Indie Film Cafe in a while, and that's because we're doing it for all these things. We're doing it for Shark Attack Sunday, and then I also did Bait. And then I did I've done a couple other shark movies. Whatever. When I try not to because we're doing Shark Attack Sunday, and I just don't want to be all sharked out,
Yeah,
and
I
have
understand.
too many. But there's so many that it's not like we're
Exactly.
gonna run out.
Yeah.
Not gonna run
They
out
keep
of
making
shark
them.
movies. They keep making them. Yeah, they're probably
Yeah.
making
They
one right
keep pump.
now. You
Of
know,
course they are.
I mean, the Asylum puts out one a year at least, not
Well, they
more.
seem to be teaming up with Tubi instead of Sci-Fi Channel now. I mean, they did Swim and they also did Shark Side of the Moon with Tubi.
I forgot to mention though, this was written by Scott Foy, by the way. And what's great about that is he was, for the longest time, I don't know if he still does it, but he was a writer, a reviewer for Dread Central, and he was
Oh
known as
yeah.
the Foy Wonder. And he would review B movies, silent movies and everything. So when I was like making Sasquatch vs. Yeti, me and him became friends because he was interested in, like, whoa, yeah, right, and everything. Sadly, I had never got it finished because money, issues. But he was interested in that stuff. And I was like, "Oh, you want to help me write it?" And he was like, "Dude, your budget can handle the stuff that I would." And then he did this movie.
Yeah.
And I guess they paid him something, so or whatever. And I guarantee you, all the crazy shit in this movie came from his brain of like what else can
Probably.
we throw at this thing? So I would
Exactly.
definitely love to chat with him at some point and be like, hey, we reviewed Atomic Shark. You know, can you tell us anything? You know, Pick his brain about it. Maybe I'll be able to mention that on another episode or something.
Yeah.
Um, but anywho, I guess that's about it. Does everybody have anything else they want to add about this movie?
No?
No, it's
Hmm?
enjoyable. Go watch it.
Go
Yeah.
watch it. It's on Tubi. Like I said, it was hard for me to find for some reason, but apparently for John, it was like that. Just look
I
Atomic.
have the DVD, so I didn't search for it on there.
Yeah, you don't need to. You can watch it on
Yeah.
DVD. Just like I have DVDs for some things, but sometimes I just like to watch it on Tubi because it's
It's
easier
there.
than trying to find my disc and
I understand.
go through it. I'm just like lazy. I'm just like, just watching. Plus, I'm helping the filmmakers and producers and everything out by, you
Yeah,
know,
I feel like that too sometimes.
yeah, especially indie films where they're like, the people aren't, it's not Hollywood, they're not, because Hollywood, I don't even think Hollywood cares about these streaming sites, but indie people do because
Yeah,
that's how they make their money.
exactly.
Some, you know. All right. Well, we are done with this. Thank you guys so much. Join us next week. It's going to be the last episode. And so for the last episode, we're going to announce what it is. For the last episode, we decided to do The Last Shark. because it's the last episode of the season.
Yeah.
Of the season, remember we will be back for a second or for another season. I think this is season 3, so we'll be back for season 4. We're just gonna keep doing this until we all have better jobs apparently, and then we can all leave and not have to do this anymore, or whatever, until John's like, I'm done with this, because I've gone off and I'm a big filmmaker out in LA now, you know,
Oh yeah. Oh
that's
yeah.
gonna happen. All right. All right. Well, thank you guys for checking this out. Hope you guys enjoyed it and join us next week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.